From there I came to Delhi, and now I am with my elder son again near Calcutta. So this way, I am even now in the northern India. But I go around the entire country annually, around the country, one trip to each important center I go. For the last 50, 60 years I have been doing that.
Wow.
Really?
Whoa.
And then Amartiti every year. Because I met Dr. Moorthy.
Right from Baba's lifetime, I used to go. Amartiti, of course, after he dropped his body, during his lifetime, he himself used to take us to his samadhi. So, what is the program?
The program is you, Dr. Murthy.
I think we're ready though. It's 7:30.
Yes,
So.
Let's go.
We start.
Yeah. One of Baba's old dear ones and close ones to be with us. It seems that the ones who spent so many years with Baba, with their hearts open to him for all those decades and decades and decades, there's a lot of Baba's nectar, a lot of his perfume rubs off into them, permeates them, and when they share their love and their experiences with us, it comes back out. That love that Baba gave, his divine scent, if you will, comes right out as perfume from his old dear ones.
The time is up to what time?
9?
15 minutes to 9 we wind up. Isn't it?
Yes.
8:45. So that we can leave here by 9 or 9:15. It's up to 8:45. Dear beloved brothers and sisters in Baba's love, I am indeed very, very happy that I am amidst you all, the fortunate few in Baba's love who have gathered here at this moment. And I am really very, very fortunate because Baba gives me such opportunities to talk about the avatar of the age, the divine beloved, the ancient one, the highest of the high, wherever I go. So today is such an occasion that Baba has graced me with that opportunity of telling you, rather talking to you, heart-to-heart talk about the divine beloved avatar Meherabad. There is no oration or lecture or speeches, either in philosophy or in intellectuality. Because Baba himself on one occasion said, somebody asked him what is philosophy. Yes, to be precise, James Douglas, a British correspondent, asked Meher Baba in London in 30s, what is philosophy? Meher Baba answered him, saying, a simple thing made too difficult is philosophy. That is Meher Baba's answer. Although I have done my Ph.D. in philosophy, Vedanta philosophy, I feel what Baba has said about philosophy is really true. So these academics and intellectual offshoots of mine are not what is really required to love Baba. I was not a lover of Baba. I did not know about Baba till 1940. In 1940, I came to know about MeherBaba through some journals. Journals edited by one Mr. K.J. The journal was named Meher Message, and later on, after that Meher Message stopped, some other journal in the name of Avatar MeherBaba Journal. So these used to be there in my father's library when my father was the editor of Sri Ramakrishna. Years after, I used to go through the bookshelf of my father and I used to read so many journals, and these two journals contained the writings and messages of Meher. That's how I came to know about the name of MeherBaba. I am trying to tell you, the other day I also told there more elaborately, but now I'll concise that. Briefly I will mention the same thing so that I wish to continue much more. There is a lot ahead of what I had said the other day, because there was a person who was absolutely new and he wanted me to tell him, kindly introduce Baba to me. Let me know who Baba is and all. That way I had to tell so many things. But just for an introduction, a brief introduction, I would like to repeat the same, but in a nutshell. So, the name was the first thing that I came in contact with, the name of MeherBaba. At that time, it was Sadguru Sri MeherBaba. That is how he used to be called. And I was in contact with so many Sadgurus in India, because my father belonged to Sri Ramakrishna Mission, and I studied as a poor student in Sri Ramakrishna Mission School. I passed my Gita competitive tests and all that through that mission. Therefore, these saints and Sadgurus used to visit my father quite frequently. That way I used to come in touch with so many Sadgurus and saints. Then, according to our custom of our Hindu Brahmin community, when I say Brahmin means priest class. So as a member of the priest class, I was required to undergo a ceremony called sacred thread ceremony. Most of you might have seen Hindus wearing sacred threads across their body. And that sacred thread was to be given by some great realized saint. And that saint happened to be Swami Shivananda Saraswati Rishikesh in the Himalayas. Most of you might have heard of him because he wrote several books on Vedanta, Yoga and philosophy. He had started a society called the Divine Life Society, branches of which are already there even in America, Europe and many other parts. So my father took me to him and got that initiation and the ceremony performed there on the banks of the Ganges at Rishikesh. So he gave me a mantra, as we call, a spiritual chanting. Mantra in Sanskrit means not correctly and appropriately translating, but a chanting of the particular name in such a way that it creates spiritual power within. That is called mantra. So he initiated me, that Swamiji, he became my guru, my perfect master, Satguru. And he gave me certain instructions to follow. One of the instructions was observe daily 2 hours silence. So I used to follow all those instructions, including this following of 2 hours of silence.
Excuse me, how old were you at this time?
I was then about 19 or 20. So I was observing silence along with other instructions. I love to remain in silent path of divine chanting. That was a path of silence as he initiated me. But he gave me a mantra as I told, that had to be chanted. That was the custom, a ceremony. That way, when I was back to my place from the Rishikesh, Swami Shivananda Saraswati, I was hearing the name of Meher Baba now and then, because they used to call themselves as Baba lovers. And that was a funny idea for me. We used to call, in our community, even today, they call either a devotee or a sadhak, as we say, practitioner or spiritual practitioner. Sadhak, devotee, or a disciple, like that. But nobody would call a lover. So they used to come occasionally and give us some information about Meherabad. Thus only the name I used to listen, and I used to feel myself, within myself, a kind of joke that these people have made of God. They say that they are lovers of God. They should be devotees or disciples, and that way I used to think. And my thinking at that time was not really ripe. But I had certain academic qualifications with me, and I used to carry on with the message of the Gita. You can say Gita is like the Bible in our Hindu community, Bhagavad Gita, the dialogue between Lord Krishna and his disciple Arjuna. So I was taught that. I appeared in certain examinations of that Gita, and I was awarded the title called Geeta Bhushan. And my father taught me the Gita, and as a priest class Brahmin, I used to teach Gita, hold Gita classes in my town, or during weekends I used to go to different villages and towns and spread the message of the Gita. That was what I used to do, and I got a small job as a teacher, a basic training school teacher. And I first taught in St. Agnes Convent, and then I was taken in a high school called Hitakarni High School, Hindi High School. I was teaching there. While teaching there, I was required to obtain a certificate of teacher's training, so I went to Gandhiji's ashram. And in Gandhiji's ashram at that time, there was a basic teacher's training scheme, which was presided over by Dr. Zakir Hussain. That was the British period. Later on, that Zakir Hussain became the President of India when India became free. But at that time, he was the President of the National Education Scheme there. So I was there for about 9 months. While I was there, in Gandhiji's ashram, I was just as a student. Student means as a trainee in the teacher's training camp, that way. And I used to find Mahatma Gandhi whom we call the father of Indian nation, he was observing silence on every Monday. That gave me a lot of interest, how this such a great national leader could manage to observe silence on every Monday, whereas he had to do a lot towards the national freedom of India. Why could he waste that time, one day, 24 hours in silence? That's how I used to think. And one day I asked Gandhiji, and then he told me that he was in the ship called SS Rajputana in the year 1931, when he was going to attend the Round Table Conference in London. And in the same ship, one great Sadguru named MeherBaba was also traveling. And he had an occasion to meet MeherBaba, and MeherBaba was observing silence at that time. And Gandhiji had so many spiritual doubts, and all those doubts were cleared by MeherBaba in silence. So he was inspired by MeherBaba's silence. Gandhiji was inspired by MeherBaba's silence, and thereafter he started observing, say, as a token, silent day, weekly one day, that is every Monday, which he continued till the last day of his life. But that gave me a further interest in the name of MeherBaba, because this MeherBaba, although silent, could impress and inspire even a great Mahatma Gandhi. So I was gradually coming in touch with the name of MeherBaba, which was being associated with great men of India at that time, like Ramana Maharshi and others. So after this way coming in contact with the name of MeherBaba, one day it so happened I annually used to visit Rishikesh to meet my Sadguru, to meet that Guru who gave me the sacred thread, that is Swami Shivananda. When I met him again in the year 1953, there was a Parliament of Religions which was being held there. That was the Diamond Jubilee, 60th year of the Parliament of Religions, which was held in Chicago in 1893. So 53. So I was given an opportunity to participate that Parliament of Religions as one of the delegates, and a camp was allotted to me by Yogi Suddhananda Bharati, the great sage of Pondicherry, was a disciple of Aurobindo, the great Aurobindo, most of you know. Later on he came to Baba and he sat by the side of Baba, that great Suddhananda Bharati. So I used to stay along with him in the same camp at Rishikesh. So when we used to go and attend that conference, one person, tall and fair person, used to stand at the gate and distribute some messages. At that time they were cyclo-styled messages, small pieces of white paper containing two-line message. So when we were entering that, as he was distributing all those delegates, he distributed me and that Yogiji, Suddhananda. And when I read that piece of paper, it contained a message. That message was very astounding and very surprising, very strange, you see. I read it. All these conferences and congregations in the name of religion and spirituality only murder through spirituality, MeherBaba. So I said, again this MeherBaba. So name of MeherBaba used to come to me in its own natural way. I never made an effort to know MeherBaba. I felt as if this name was chasing me. That's how I felt, in this way. My attention used to be drawn to that name, either with some stupendous type of message or some great man of the country like that. This message was certainly a very wonderful message, and I used to think who this MeherBaba could be. That way, And then I also used to think that he was in silence for so many years. Even Gandhiji was there, he did not break his silence, but he only communicated in silence. And my duty, as I used to think at that time, was to meet any saint or Sadguru or a spiritual personality, meet him, bow down to him, receive his blessings and take the prasad and express my inner desire to him so that his power of spirituality might fulfill my desire. That way I used to go. That was the way I used to think while I used to approach these great spiritual masters or Sadgurus. So this Meher is always in silence. So what would be the use of going to him? He won't speak, he won't say anything. And to a silent man, there was no purpose of my going. That's how I used to think at that time. But gradually, when I used to see these messages or trying to know about him through this man or that man, somehow I must see this man. That's how I got a desire. But not out of respect for Meher Baba, or not that I had my own guru. My father was a great Sanskrit scholar, and I had my mantra. My God was Lord Sri Krishna, the Sri Lord Krishna. So I needed neither a guru, nor a God, nor anyone. So why should I go and see Meher Baba? That's how I thought. So I was moving. And on one occasion, as I mentioned to you, I always annually used to go to Rishikesh to meet my Sadguru. So when I went there, I was told Meher Baba had come there. Those very co-disciples of mine, told me Meher Baba had come and gone to Dehradun. But I missed his darshan. So one gentleman from Dehradun, the same gentleman about whom I spoke to you, who distributed the messages, he came there and he went to Shivananda's room, and this Yogiji happened to be there, and I also was there. He requested Yogiji, I was listening from a distance, he requested Yogiji, you can come along with me, I will take you in my car. Meher Baba has given you a time for interview. Probably he sought for interview with Meher Baba, that Yogiji. Yogi is such a great man, how he is seeking the interview from Meher Baba. Anyway, while yes, I am coming. At that moment, I took an opportunity to ask Yogiji and request him, can you also take me so that I could have darshan of that Meher Baba? All right, you follow me. That gentleman, his name was Kishan Singh. Now I should tell you, his name was Kishan Singh. He was then in the government job, Defence Department. He was the joint controller of defence accounts. And Meher Baba was hosting in his bungalow, and his Mandali members were also hosting in another bungalow arranged by that person. His name was Kishan Singh. He wrote several diaries of Baba. That's another story. So he told Yogiji, you can come along with me, but you don't take anyone along with you. I can't guarantee that Baba would give darshan to this man or not. But Baba had only called you for his name. But Yogiji said, you follow me, don't worry. I'll make a special recommendation of your case. Okay, I followed Yogiji. We went there to Dehradun. We were made to cars stopped on the road, and Baba was staying somehow inside in a small cabin of that Kishan Singh's bungalow. And Yogiji and Kishan Singh went to Baba. Probably they had a talk. Their interview was over, and Yogiji came back to me and said, I'm so sorry that Meher Baba did not agree and to give any darshan. So I had developed a sort of angry feeling within me. What sort of saint or Sadguru is he? That young men like me, at that time I was very young, so young men like me come for his darshan and he refuses to give darshan. That's why I developed a negative attitude, and I was having several feelings of opposition against him. He must be a hoax, he might be this, that, like that. You see. So I was frustrated that he didn't give me an opportunity to have his darshan. But that Kishan Singh was there, don't worry. You are also an old man, and he said, you come to me, stay tonight with me, and next time whenever an opportunity would come, you can have his darshan. But Yogiji said, Baba told me that he would, whenever he would call you, then only you will go to him. Till such time, Baba asked me to tell you that you love him. What? I said, love him? What? I said, love him. So I rejected the idea within, but I left the place. Yogiji left for Rishikesh. I went to that Kishan Singh's house in Dehradun, stayed there for the night, and after dinner I asked him at his residence, well, you accept Meher Baba as God? Yes, I accept Baba as God, as avatar. Oh, then could you tell me how you have come to accept him and what is his life and what is the history or what is the biography? Could you tell me in a nutshell? Then such a great officer, defense accounts officer, he puts his hand. I don't know all that. I just believed in Baba that he is God. Because Baba said, I am God, I believed in him. And having believed in him, I developed my love for him. I don't know how and why. I said, a funny man, a blind believer in Baba? Okay. I did not say anything. I kept quiet and next morning I have to go. So I was waiting. In the meantime, he went to his own bookshelf, Kishan Singh in his house, took out one book and said, here is one book. I have not read this book, but you read this book, you will have some idea of Meher Baba's life. So when I took that book, I read the title of the book. The title was Avatar. Avatar means incarnation. The Avatar. And I thought this must have been written by some great Sanskrit scholar or Pandit. But when I saw the name of the author, it was G.S.N. Andrew. I said, what audacity has this person got to write as an avatar, and who that avatar could be? When I turned over the page, it was Meher Baba, who was hailed as an avatar. That further irritated me because I felt it was only Krishna or Rama, such persons could be avatars, not any person like this, Meher Baba. He might be a saint, he might be a Satguru, a master guru, like that. But how could he? Then you see, my feelings were all going against him, against Meher Baba. But I was not having his darshan. So first I came to know about his name, then all these things. Now, as a propagator of the Gita, as holding Gita classes in my town, I used to celebrate annually one function called Geeta Jayanti, the birthday of Gita. On that very day, Gita was delivered to Arjuna by Lord Krishna. So that Geeta Jayanti was celebrated. Do we also celebrate Meher Baba's birthday? We call Jayanti means birthday in Sanskrit. Meher Jayanti, Meher Baba Jayanti we call it. So I was celebrating Geeta Jayanti. For that I wrote letters to so many saints and Shankaracharyas, so many Sadgurus all over the country. I also wrote because I had the address of Meher Baba through the journal, Meher Baba journal. So I also sent one letter to Meher Baba's name. So that was in the year 1941, November, I sent that. We were celebrating this Geeta Jayanti. And a reply came on 23rd of November 1941. I thought he was a silent man, he would send some blessings or so, somebody would write like that. But there was a letterhead was there, F.H. Dadachandji, secretary to Avatar Meher Baba, letterhead. I said, wonderful avatar. You see, here this avatar, this God has a secretary also. See, our Rama, Krishna, Christ, nobody has any secretary. So this man has a secretary, must be some modern type of God, you see. Anyway, that secretary wrote me a covering letter. In that he said, your letter was read out to Baba and he was very pleased. He sent his message for your Geeta Jayanti. However, he was pleased to dictate a message and he has attested his signature, and that message I am sending you. So this is a Baba's signature. 23rd, this message was sent to me in 23rd November 1941. This was published in Glow issue a few years back, about 2 years back. Now the message is like this: the greatest need of humanity today is love. Love divine, which is pure and selfless, which awakens man to the proper sense and understanding of his real duty in life, to find true happiness in giving, not receiving, in serving and not in being served, and in willingly participating in the sufferings of others more than in their own happiness. My mission in life is to kindle that divine spark of love in all. M.S. Irani, Meherabad, signed. Now this message was very nice for me. I liked the message, but I was just thinking how this man could be termed or called as God. No. Thereafter I started correspondence with Baba, and that is a long chapter. You see, always fighting with Baba. You see. That went on for years. Ultimately, with all this background, I came to know the name of Meher Baba, yet I was not convinced. I tried to read that small book called The Avatar by G.S.N. I knew something about Meher Baba. I was not convinced because I was internally agitated, having gone to such a long distance for his darshan. He refused to give me darshan, all this. I came back home, and I used to go to Calcutta to attend some seminars in the university. There one day I was attending a seminar. In that seminar, so many heads of departments of philosophy came there. One of them was one Mr. Dr. C.D. Deshmukh. He was there. I did not know any of them because I belong to Calcutta University. So I did not know so many. There were so many heads of departments of philosophy in different universities. So he was there. I read out a small paper concerning silence. Silence was my pet subject. So I had prepared a paper on silence based on our Shankaracharya's couplet and all that. When I read that paper, at the end of the day seminar, this Dr. C.D. Deshmukh was looking for those who were coming out of the seminar. He spotted me and said, "Come here." So he was the head of the Department of Philosophy in a university. He patted me and said, "I was very pleased to listen to your paper. You see, you will be very, very fortunate if you will have Baba's Darshan, Meherbaba's Darshan." He also knows Meherabad, head of the department. Then, okay, not out of my own personal respect for Baba, but out of respect for this Dr. C.D. Deshmukh, because I knew that in so many philosophical congresses I used to meet the heads of departments. He was one. But at that time when he mentioned the name of Meher Baba and asked me to visit and have Baba's darshan, I recall that incident when Baba denied the darshan to me. But I could not tell him anything. He took me to his place, gave me tea and said, "Don't worry, I'll guide you." He became my guide for my Ph.D. and that way he was my guide, one of the guides, chief guides of the head of department. So out of respect for him, out of self-interest that he would be guiding me, I said, "Okay, when you want, I will have his darshan." Now, my journey to Meher Baba this way was continuing. Then in course of time, there was a circular issued from Ahmednagar, and that circular was bought by some Baba lovers. Again I mentioned the same, from Calcutta, and given to me. Here is a circular. Baba is going to have a Sahvas program, that is a darshan program, in the year 1955 at Meherabad. So you can also join it. Now, as an Andhra, South Indian, I knew my mother tongue Telugu. So we talk in Telugu, our mother tongue. So the Darshan program, entire Savas period was for 1 month there, as per that schedule. 1 week for each language group. First language was Hindi, then Gujarati, then Andhra, then Marathi. 4 groups. Now I thought, what kind of God is he? Already we are suffering from divisions, and God is also having linguistic divisions amongst his lovers. So what sort of God could he be? So that way I was thinking. Anyway, I did not attend neither in the language of Andhra, which was my mother tongue, nor Hindi, which I knew and studied, nor in Gujarati, which I knew to some extent. And I wanted to avoid that session. Only one day I would go and have his darshan, bow down to him and come back. That is what Dr. C.D. Deshmukh wanted. I would do like that. As I was thinking like that, Dr. Deshmukh's telegram came to me that you have not attended in any of these Savas groups. Now last group is Marathi group. I have told about you to Baba, and Baba wanted me to invite you to attend this Savas. So I am writing to you. Then you see, I had to go just to respect Dr. C.D. Deshmukh. And I also thought by this kind of going to him, I would be pleasing Dr. Deshmukh, and also I'll get rid of that darshan of Meherabad. That's how I left the place. Now, for the first time I came to Ahmednagar railway station. I gave this intimation by telegram to Dr. C.D. Deshmukh. I am coming by so-and-so train to Ahmednagar. From there I will proceed. But as I got down from my compartment, I was very, very lucky to find that Dr. C.D. Deshmukh himself was standing along with one tall European gentleman by his side. And I was really so happy that head of the department, my guide, comes to receive me at the station. So I felt ashamed. And according to our custom, you see, we bow down to elders. I wanted to touch the feet of Dr. Deshmukh. And we say, like you say, good morning. We say Jai Ramji, Jai Sri Krishna, we say like that. Or we say Namaskar or Pranams, that way going down. But Dr. Deshmukh said Jai Baba. What is this Jai Baba? For the first time I heard Jai Baba. And then I did not say Jai Baba. I just kept quiet. I said Namaskar in our traditional way of greeting the elders. Jai Baba, Namaskar. But he said okay, but I was about to know something about the tall European gentleman. I was just asking Dr. C.D. Deshmukh who that gentleman was. Then Dr. Deshmukh introduced me. Here is Dr. William Duncans, the author of The Wayfarers, and where the musts, so many musts, God-intoxicated men, their life with Baba, how Baba met them and all that. It's all puzzling and confusing. What are these musts and all these things? You see. So, but as I was looking to that gentleman, European, he came forward and he embraced me very tightly. Jai Baba! I kept quiet, I didn't say still Jai Baba. I thought he would leave me, but he was saying Jai Baba. So to get rid of his embrace, I also said for the first time Jai Baba. That's how I said Jai Baba unwillingly for the first time. To get over his strong embrace, Dr. William Duncan's embrace. Later on I was in River. Very loving soul, we met on so many occasions. That's how it went. Dr. Deshmukh brought me for the first time. I was in Nagar. He brought me to a small building and he said, this building is called Nazar. Upasni Maharaj, one of the 5 perfect masters of Meherbaba, also came and sat here, and Meherbaba used to come and come on. Dr. Deshmukh took me inside and made me sit in front of one person, well-suited, booted person, and he was seated in a revolving chair, and I was sitting in front of him. Who is this gentleman? So Dr. Deshmukh said, meet Mr. Adike Irani, he is the secretary of Avatar Meherabad. That one secretary, this another secretary, this Avatar also has a secretary. And he's such a funny secretary that he was having a cigar in his mouth, was producing swirls in the smoke like an expert smoker, and he was revolving the chair. And he stopped and turned to me, oh, I'm so happy. But I was thinking, all the time from station I have been coming here, I must settle myself somewhere, have a bath, and at least no cup of, not even a cup of coffee, nobody would have. As I was thinking like that, suddenly he clapped and his peon who was sitting outside, he came, his name was Vaman, he said, get a cup of coffee for this man. So I was happy, at least in this way, the secretary is helpful, you see, he is giving, okay, that's all right. That way, I first took sympathy for the secretary to avatar MeherBaba, because he called for a cup of coffee. Then we were taken to Meherabad. I said, can we have MeherBaba's darshan here? He said, no, MeherBaba does not stay here. This is his office, the God's office. Oh, I see. God has an office, secretary, his staff and all that. But that way I used to think about MeherBaba in a funny manner. Well, where can I have his darshan? So Dr. Deshmukh said, let us go to Meherabad. That is a place where he will give darshan. So I came to Meherabad along with Dr. C.D. Deshmukh. There, most of you might have seen who had gone to Meherabad. In the lower Meherabad, there is a dhuni slab where dhuni is lit every year. Near that dhuni, there is a gate. From out through that gate, Baba would go, and up to that D hostel cabin and all that, you see, there were camps at that time during Savas period. So people stood in queues, 2 queues along with the gate like this, one this side, the other. And Dr. Deshmukh was guiding me, come on, you see, we will also stand in that queue. And there was a flower shop in front of that dhuni slab underneath a neem tree, as we call, underneath the tree. He was selling flowers and garlands and all. People would go buy garlands and bring them, stand in the queue. So Deshmukh went, and there was another doctor in our Andhra, Dr. Kanakadandi. He was the editor of some Telugu journal called Avatar Mehar. He knows. See, I met him for the first time there also. So he also went there. Come on, he talked in our mother tongue, and he said, let us have a garland. I said, no, why should I have a garland? See, I am not yet full faith in this Baba, your Baba, so why should I have any garland? I didn't buy the garland, they brought the garland, they stood in the queue, I also stood along with them. And now Dr. Deshmukh said, everybody was quiet. Deshmukh said, see, Baba is coming now in the car. The car came, and car stopped in between these 2 queues. All were having their garlands in their hands. As the car stopped, one gentleman opened the gate from the other side of the car, and he came down. Dr. Deshmukh telling me, he is the interpreter of God. See, God has a secretary, God has an interpreter. Okay, there must be endless number of his staff here. Whatever it is, he came forward and opened the gate, car gate door of the on the side where Baba was seated. He opened the door, and then Baba got down. I can really tell you, I am now surrounded here by MeherBaba on all sides. You see, in this house, you see, with this pink bush coat, and going here, it did like that, and started looking like this in a majestic way, the divine majesty, I should say. I don't know how to describe that. As I looked to him, I found it was something like the rising sun. And that face, and such a brilliant face and aura, spiritual aura, I never saw, in spite of my having come in contact with so many saints and Sadhgurus. Pink, rose colored face and 2 shining, brilliant eyes, something like 2 pole stars, you see, twinkling, and the light emanating from his looks as if coming to touch me, my entire being. That's how I felt. And suddenly I felt, oh, why should I remain without a garland in my hand? Everybody has a garland. Now why should I? Then while looking to Baba, he got down, he stood up, the interpreter stood by his side, and I wanted to know how he was communicating. So he was communicating with his hand gestures, and the interpreter was translating them. Thus Baba was so slowly coming. And then a funny order was issued by Baba at that time by standing there. He said, look here, the interpreter was telling, Baba was never speaking anything. Interpreter telling us that Baba would not receive this time any garland around his neck. So only Baba would put his hand on the right side and put the garlands on his right hand. When he puts the hand on the left side, those who stand in the left hand side queue, they will put the garland on the left hand. In the hand. Say what these people bring garland out of respect to garland him around his neck, and he said, put it on my hand. That's how I used to feel. However, the rate at which Baba was moving was very slow. I thought, so I was about 20th in turn along with Dr. Deshmukh. There were another 15 people to cross over when Baba would come up to me. So it would take time, at least 5 minutes, that's how I thought. And I was looking to the flower shop that side and wanted to get some garland of a cheaper variety, whatever it is. We used to put one step there, look to this side, Baba, how he was coming. So I said it would take some time. So I put one step towards the shop, flower shop, and the other step when I was going to place and jump to the shop, just at that time, I felt a touch on my right shoulder, such a soft touch in my life. I still carry that touch. I don't know that touch will remain for births and births together. You see, that touch I feel. As I turned back, I found it was Baba standing in front of me. So I folded my hands and stood up. Now you see, I am face to face with Baba. For the first time, that was how I saw physically Meherbaba. And I was so much thrilled and full of ecstasy and absorbed in looking at Baba, his aura. And I was feeling in my heart, you see, I could not have a garland in my hand. Then suddenly, Baba used to gesture like this. And the interpreter said, what is this? The interpreter said, Baba is the highest of the high. Baba knows your heart. How this man will know? I have so many secrets in my heart. This man can know my heart. So I was thinking that way. This is all tactics these days. So many saints play like this. That's how I used to think. Baba used to say, tell me honestly, Baba was gesturing. Voice I used to listen of Iraj, the interpreter, but looking to Baba, tell me honestly, why this God, when he was approaching towards you, you turned your back to him and faced the other side? I said, Baba, I was going to buy a garland. I thought he would leave me at that, but he did not leave me. He said, why did you not buy the garland before along with others? Why were you now going to buy the garland? That was a difficult question. I couldn't say that I was thinking all along against you, this, that and all. Thinking. So I kept quiet. I did not say anything, but Baba was insisting very seriously. Tell me. And Dr. G.S.N. also used to tell me, what is that? Then for the first time I thought in my heart of hearts, I thought, well, Baba, if you are God, you leave me. There are many people holding God in my head. If you don't ask me any question further, don't insist me for my answer, I will take you to be God. Like that. And immediately, as I said in my mind, I did not utter it out. Baba said, I forgive you, and went ahead. Oh, yes. He has left me, he has gone ahead. He must be a God. Something like that I thought for the first time. And I also was trying to connect that thought with how Baba used to say, I know everything of your heart. That mood and that posture which Baba showed me at that time still carry. I said, Baba knows everything. And perhaps I was trying to hide certain things. And nothing could be hidden from him. Like that I used to feel. But I never answered this, and Baba left ahead. And I said, I had my darshan of Baba, I saw face to face. Now I told Dr. Deshmukh, and now let us go. I had his darshan. No, how can you go? Unless Baba orders us all to dissolve and then go to attend the camp in the Sahaba. We can't go here. Complete discipline must be observed. In such a professor case, I also had to stand in the queue. I thought no, Baba wouldn't come, but at the same time, I was drawn to his divine personality and that luster and radiance and brilliance in it. So I was telling Dr. Deshmukh, did you have his darshan? Yes. I said, yes, I'm very lucky to have you, Darshan. I'm very happy. Now the darshan is over. Let us go. No, wait. In the meantime, Baba was coming again, the same route, and stood up again in front of me. And I thought again he would ask me the same question. But I was decided this time, determined in my mind that if he would ask me, I won't think he is God. If he doesn't ask me, then if he asks me any other question, then it's all right. He should not ask me that question. That way, let me see what Baba does. If he does not ask me, I'll take him to be God. Confirm that he is God. That's how I thought in my mind. Then Baba just projected his one hand like this. There was a garland hanging in his hand. Baba said, these garlands and these flowers will fade away. They will be destroyed. I am not interested in these garlands. Very well. Baba has answered my question. I was satisfied that I had not purchased a garland, and because Baba is not interested in it. Very good. I was trying to logically conclude, saying, oh, Baba certainly knows my mind. That's all. But then Baba said, but pointing out to my body, he said, I want you to be my living garland. What is this living garland? I looked at Baba. Baba asked me, don't you understand what is a living garland? I said, no. I understand what a garland could be, what a garland is, but could there be a living garland, dead garland, and half-dead garlands? Could there be any such garlands? So Baba said, you don't know? No. Then Baba said, all right. Baba spread his two hands like that and took my hands in his hands and took his hands along with my hands round Baba's neck. See, I was almost suspended round the neck of Baba. Baba asked me, are you living? I said, yes. So you have become a living garland now. It was justifiable. You see, I looked like a living garland because my two hands were around the neck of Baba. Yes. I felt so happy at that time, you see. So I really forgot about all my previous doubts about Baba's divinity and all at that time. And I was just suspending myself in the around my hands around the neck of Baba. In a minute or so, Baba left his hands and my hands also were like this. Baba then said, I felt that I was having that. Baba called me a living garland. I looked like a living garland. Okay. Even my professor, Dr. Siri Deshmukh, did not get such an, embrace of Baba. Other feeling such kind of egoistic thoughts, you see. Then suddenly Baba pointed out towards my body and said, even this will be destroyed. I want you to be my real living garland. Real, he used to spell out by gestures, underline real. Then I again looked at Baba, what could be that real living garland? See, Baba, you don't understand real. I said, Baba, could there be a false living garland and real? I don't understand this. So Baba said, don't worry, I'll help you. So I was going to touch Baba's feet, but Baba did not allow me to touch his feet. Baba embraced me and then softly slapping on my two cheeks, he said, I'll help you to see that you become my real living garland. Don't worry. That was my first physical contact of Baba. When I came out of that, Dr. G.S.N asked me, how did you? I said, very well, but it's all okay. How could he be my Lord Krishna and all that, you see? That's how I still used to develop some doubts, but he must be God. But how could he be my Krishna, Lord Krishna? So this was my first physical contact with Baba. And I stayed there. There are lots of stories of that 1 week of Sahaba. Some of the stories I gave them in my book called The Wonders of Silence. But now I shall continue with a couple of more to keep pace with the time, you see, at our disposal. So, 7th day, the Sahwas was over and everybody was departing. And on the departure date, Baba used to give a final embrace to each and every lover. and myself and Dr. Deshmukh were also there, along with all those who were giving their last salutation to Baba, and Baba used to give a final embrace. So Baba gave me one final embrace and Dr. Deshmukh another, because we came together by the same train. So we were both going away after his final embrace. Then it so happened, as we were going ahead, Baba clapped like that, and I looked behind and saw Baba was calling me like this. I went to Baba. As I went to Baba, Baba said, "Come close to me." I went nearer to Baba. Baba again embraced me. He gave me a second embrace. I was very happy that I got 2 embraces from Baba. Now, whereas previously I would not say Jai Baba even, but I started with Duncan Jai Baba. Now every time, you see, I used to think of Baba, the Jai Baba used to automatically come out of my mouth. Literally to the avatar MeherBaba, that way. So as I was coming back from the second embrace given to me by Baba and trying to meet Dr. Deshmukh, Baba said, "Look here, do you know this second embrace, to whom had I given this?" I said, "What, you have embraced me? I think you have given me this embrace." No, this is not for you. This embrace is not for you." I said, "How is it? You embraced me, Baba." "No, this embrace I have given you to carry it to your home and deliver this embrace to your wife by embracing her. This will be my embrace, and see that the purity of this embrace is maintained right up to the time when you go to your place and give this embrace to your wife." In my house, neither my father nor my mother, they knew of Meherabad, but they were not Baba lovers, you see. I was also not a Baba lover, but I became a Baba lover, no, so to say, to start with, the beginning of my being a Baba lover. And when Baba said, "Carry the second embrace," how the embrace should be carried? And in all this purity, I was thinking, worried, how to carry it. You see, I was asking Neeraj, I was asking Adi, who were even asking Dr. Deshmukh. Say, Baba says, "You carry this embrace." Then Baba said, "You see, don't embrace anybody, so carry the embrace." Okay, then I thought of a plan. Well, I could keep myself like this. If anybody would say, I say, "Jai Baba," I won't embrace him. So this way, I had to go for my place, a 36 hours train journey. So I was like this. So as we were departing, Neeraj said, "Jai Baba Murthy." I said, "Jai Baba." Said, "Jai Baba." Said, "Jai Baba." They used to come forward with their hands. I used to only stand like this. And Baba was standing and looking at these things and the money and others. Baba said, "This is what has happened to Moorthy, that he is not embracing us. He is only keeping like this." Baba said, "His screw is loose." That's how Baba started too. And these people also started saying, "Your screw is loose." Carry on. So somehow I didn't embrace. Now, as per, I was impressed and inspired by Baba's divine personality, his presence, his radiance, so much that I have to carry this embrace honestly to my place. So, keeping like that, in the train, myself and Dr. Deshmukh, same train, we were going, but he had to get down at Nagpur, midway, and I had to go further till Calcutta. So he got down. As he was getting down at Nagpur, his family members came to receive him. They knew me, therefore they also came forward and said, "Jai Baba," they wanted to embrace me. I again put this. What happened to him? He simply says, "Jai Baba," does not embrace this time. Deshmukh said, "Screw it." So I came back my home, and it was about 9 o'clock or so in the night. I knocked at my door. It was a large family, my father, my brother, my sister, my mother, and my sister-in-law, so many joint family. And they had their dinner and all that. They were sitting for dinner. My wife was also expecting me to come because I had intimated them by this train I would be coming. She came forward and opened the door. As she opened the door, I embraced her so tightly. And I said, "No, I am free." But she started started telling me what kind of nonsense you say. This embrace could be given sometime else, otherwise now. Yes. So in our place, just as he opens the door to embrace her, to like a madman embrace. That way, everybody started looking at me. He had gone to some Meherbaba, and God knows what happened. So my wife was also not very much impressed, but she was disputing with me.